Yes. Wow. All right. So Jenny's your big guy.
Richard Jennings a
And
good guy, but then Attell is he's my
oh,
favorite guy, man. He's just like I know him personally now, and that makes me love him even more as a stand up. But just comedically, he's the greatest, man. For a club comic, he's for my money, he's the best guy, man.
he I tell a story all the time, but he made me just suck air. He didn't make me. We did this event and I ate it so hard after him. I mean, this was a stadium. And I just was at the end of Saturday Night Live. My peacock feathers were still high in the air. No one really knew who he was, and he only had to do 15 minutes. And he did the machine gun, kick your ass,
Yes.
Dave Attell material, brought the place in a frenzy. And I just sat there like, this is not going to go good for me. And it did it. And it did not. It was horrifying. Um, yeah, I got to tour with him. I got to tour with him and Jim Norton and Bill Burr.
Yeah.
And I got to watch him
Two other
every
great
week.
ones. Two other great ones who've had a huge influence also coming up in New York. It's like Bill Burr was still like, no one knew who he was when he was in New York.
No.
It's still very funny. His half hour Comedy Central special really
Yeah.
holds up. It's really, really
Yes, it does.
funny. But
Yeah.
just even, I think Opie and Anthony, that the
Yeah.
Philadelphia thing, and
Huge. That was a big one.
big one, and there's incremental things to where he's like everybody knows him now and he's a legend, and the same thing with
Yeah.
Norton. These guys have been around, and I have to say, like, I don't know where, like, you developed in New York, but I came at the tail end of the Boston Comedy Club
Mm,
in New York.
yeah. Well, that was a major piece. That was me, Jay
Right.
Moore, Dave Chappelle, Dave Attell. I think Norton would go there. There was Wanda Sykes was there a lot. Keith Robinson, Tony Woods,
Yeah.
and
Tony had a night there when I first started. Blue Monday.
Tony did.
Tony had a night. He was never there because he was always in DC. He lives in DC, but he had a night, and Marina Franklin used to run the night. The comics, the reason it would hang out there is because comics would run the shows it was still Barry Katz. So the
Yeah.
comics would run the shows during the week, and then it'd be club shows on the weekend. So you could go there and get up at a New York City club, which was a huge
Mm.
deal back then.
Yes, yes. So yeah, that was a great room for me, and then the comic strip was my other room. I did the cellar.
Right.
The cellar was a room to humble. Like I would get humbled there. It's like I would murder
Yeah.
uptown, and I'd come downtown, and it was just this different energy.
Yes.
It was a darker energy, and I'm not a dark guy,
Right.
so it's a little, but I would pull it off, but
Yeah.
I didn't always enjoy going.
Right.
I'm like, oh god,
But that's amazing
but
because that was the thing. I would try to work the jokes, develop them uptown, and then come downtown to cut the
yes,
fat off.
same. That's exactly what I do. So I'd go even to Boston, which is murder metal, and then go uptown the comic strip, murder at the comic strip. Be
Yeah.
like me, Ray Romano. I had to follow Ray Romano and Wanda like 40 straight Fridays and Saturdays. You know, Ray would be like, hey, does this work? He'd take out keys.
Yeah.
Yeah, is this
Yeah.
funny? Oh, my twins love it. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. And I remember one time I came off stage, I had a show being developed. It was very similar to King of Queens. I lived upstairs. We just got married. We were blue collar, but and I went up to Ray and like, Ray, if you don't got nothing going on, I think you should be the head writer and the head guy for this show I'm developing. I kind of got something working on. And I just remember him. I remember going, yeah, sure you do. You just missed a big opportunity. Bing! And I'm still with the shovel, like, oh my god! And his car got stolen. His car got stolen
It's crazy.
from the comic strip, and he comes in, and he's like, they took the minivan. "Ah, my wife's gonna kill me." She said, "Don't bring them in." The twin seats were in there. Ah, God, now I got no baby seats. Oh, I, I loved those days. And then I'd go to the Comedy Cellar, and then they'd let you know, like, yeah, no, that works uptown. Get to the hard stuff real quick.
Get to
Get
the
out of
joke. I love because the crowds. I
here.
mean, for
Yeah,
the people who don't know, those crowds are right up on you. Like the comic strips are a
right on
little bit
top.
like deeper. There's like
Yeah,
it's more space. It's like the Cellar and the Boston. They were right up on you. So it's like if
yes.
a joke murdered, you could really feel it. But if it bombed, you could really feel that too.